The world is a scary place. Not just the shadows and the dark corners, but the things that hide in broad daylight, the things we don't understand, the things that go bump in the night. We try to explain them away, to rationalize the irrational, but deep down, we know the truth. There are things out there that defy explanation, things that prey on our deepest fears. And sometimes those fears are brought to life on the big screen. Dive into the terrifying world of horror movies inspired by real-life events. From supernatural encounters to spine-chilling true crime stories, these films blur the line between fiction and reality. Are you brave enough to watch them all? Let's start with a story that chilled me to the bone, a story that clung to me long after the cameras stopped rolling. This is not just any tale of terror, it's a haunting that transcends the screen, embedding itself into the very fabric of your nightmares. It's the story of the Perron family, tormented by an evil that seeped from the land itself in the Conjuring. This family, seeking a new beginning, found themselves ensnared in a web of malevolent forces that defied logic and reason. Ed and Lorraine Warren, the paranormal investigators who lived this nightmare alongside the Perron family, opened their files and their memories to us. These seasoned investigators, who had faced countless hauntings, found themselves in one of the most harrowing cases of their careers. Their experiences, documented in chilling detail, became the foundation of this film. The notes, the recordings, the personal accounts, all of it paints a picture of a darkness that is both fascinating and horrifying. Imagine the darkness of that farmhouse in Rhode Island, the oppressive air thick with the stench of decay and dread. Every corner of that house seemed to whisper secrets of its sinister past, a past that refused to stay buried. The Warrens felt it, the raw, primal fear that clung to the walls like cobwebs. They knew that what they were dealing with was not just a ghost, but something far more insidious. The Perrons, a family just looking for a fresh start, were trapped in a nightmare they couldn't wake up from. Their dreams of a peaceful life were shattered by the relentless torment of an unseen force. The film captures that suffocating sense of dread, the feeling of unseen eyes watching your every move. It's as if the house itself was alive, breathing down your neck, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The sounds, the whispers, the cold spots, it's all there, echoing the real-life horrors the Warrens documented. Every creak, every shadow, every chilling breeze is a reminder of the unseen forces at play. But what truly terrifies me, what lingers long after the credits roll, is the knowledge that this happened. This isn't just a story crafted for the screen. It's a recounting of real events that defy explanation. A family was terrorized by forces beyond our understanding. They faced an evil that could not be reasoned with, an entity that thrived on their fear and suffering. The evil in that house, the entity that sought to claim them, was real. It was a darkness that had a life of its own, a malevolence that could not be easily banished. The Conjuring isn't just a horror movie. It's a window into a darkness that exists just beyond our perception. It's a glimpse into a world where the line between the living and the dead is blurred, where evil can manifest in the most unexpected ways. It's a reminder that the things we fear the most are often the things we can't explain. The unknown, the unseen, the inexplicable. These are the true sources of our deepest fears, and The Conjuring brings them to life in a way that is both captivating and terrifying. The battle between good and evil takes center stage in The Exorcism of Emily Rose, a film that burrows deep into the human psyche and leaves an indelible mark on the viewer's mind. It's a chilling exploration of the supernatural, wrapped in a narrative that questions the very essence of faith and belief. The film leaves you questioning the very nature of belief, making you ponder the thin line that separates faith from delusion. Inspired by the horrifying ordeal of Annalisa Michel, a young woman who underwent a series of exorcisms, the film forces us to confront the possibility of demonic possession. Annalisa's story is not just a tale of terror, but a profound narrative that delves into the complexities of the human mind and spirit. Imagine the desperation of Annalisa's family, their love for their daughter clashing with the terrifying reality of her condition. Their struggle is palpable, a heart-wrenching depiction of a family torn between faith and fear, love and despair. Imagine the priests, armed with their faith and ancient rituals, battling an unseen enemy that threatened to consume Annalisa's soul. Their conviction and determination are both inspiring and haunting as they face an evil that defies understanding. The film doesn't shy away from the physical and psychological torment Annalisa endured. It portrays her suffering in unflinching detail, making the audience feel her pain and anguish. The contortions, the guttural voices, the sheer agony in her eyes, it's all there, a stark reminder of the darkness that can take root in the human heart. The film captures these moments with a raw intensity that is both disturbing and thought-provoking. The Exorcism of Emily Rose isn't just a horror movie, it's a courtroom drama that forces us to confront our own beliefs. The legal battle that ensues is as gripping as the exorcism itself, raising questions about the nature of truth and justice. Was Annalisa truly possessed, or was she a victim of mental illness? The film masterfully blurs the lines between the supernatural and the psychological, leaving the audience in a state of uncertainty. The film offers no easy answers, leaving us to grapple with the unsettling possibilities. It challenges us to look beyond the surface and consider the deeper implications of faith, science, and the human condition. The true horror lies in the unknown, in the space between faith and reason, where the lines between sanity and madness blur. It is in this murky territory that The Exorcism of Emily Rose finds its most profound and terrifying moments, making it a film that lingers long after the credits roll. Some horrors are born not from the supernatural, but from the darkness that resides within the human soul. These are the terrors that lurk in the corners of our minds, waiting for the right moment to emerge and consume us. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, loosely based on the crimes of Ed Gein, plunges us into the heart of that darkness. It takes us on a journey through the twisted corridors of the human psyche, revealing the grotesque and the macabre in ways that few films dare to. Imagine the desolate landscape of rural Texas, the scorching sun beating down on a group of friends who stumble upon a nightmare. The isolation of the setting amplifies their vulnerability, making every shadow and every sound a potential threat. Leatherface, a hulking figure of pure terror, becomes a symbol of our primal fears, a reminder that evil can wear many faces. His mask, made of human skin, is a grotesque representation of the horrors that lie beneath the surface of normalcy. The film's grainy, documentary-style footage adds to the realism, blurring the line between fiction and reality. This technique immerses the viewer, making the terror feel immediate and personal, as if we are witnessing real events unfold before our eyes. We're no longer watching a movie. We're peering into a world where nightmares are flesh and blood. The visceral fear experienced by the characters becomes our own as the boundaries between the screen and our reality dissolve. But what makes the Texas Chainsaw Massacre truly terrifying is the knowledge that it's inspired by true events. The crimes of Ed Gein, a man whose depravity knew no bounds, serve as a grim reminder that the most horrifying monsters are often human. Ed Gein's gruesome crimes, his fascination with human skin and body parts, serve as a chilling reminder that the monsters we fear often live among us. His actions blur the line between sanity and madness, showing us the depths of human depravity. The film's enduring legacy lies in its ability to tap into our deepest fears of isolation, vulnerability, and the unknown. It forces us to confront the unsettling reality that danger can lurk in the most unexpected places and that sometimes there is no escape. It's a reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we create ourselves. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre holds up a mirror to our darkest impulses, challenging us to face the terrifying possibility that the true horror lies within. Our dreams, once a sanctuary from the waking world, become a breeding ground for terror in A Nightmare on Elm Street. While not based on a single event, the film draws inspiration from a series of mysterious deaths, young immigrants who died in their sleep. Imagine the terror of not being safe even in your dreams, of being stalked by a boogeyman who knows your deepest fears. Freddy Krueger, with his burned face, razor-sharp claws and haunting laugh, becomes the embodiment of our nightmares. The film's exploration of the subconscious, the way it blurs the lines between dreams and reality, adds to the unsettling atmosphere. We're never quite sure what's real and what's a nightmare, and that uncertainty is terrifying. A Nightmare on Elm Street taps into our primal fear of the unknown, the things that go bump in the night. It reminds us that even in the supposed safety of our own minds, we're not always alone. The film's legacy lies in its ability to make us question the very nature of reality, to fear the darkness that lurks within us all. Dolls, often symbols of innocence and childhood, take on a sinister life of their own in Annabelle. Inspired by the real-life haunted doll housed in the Warrens' occult museum, the film explores the terrifying power of objects imbued with evil. Imagine the unease of bringing a seemingly harmless doll into your home only to discover that it's a conduit for something dark and sinister. Annabelle, with her blank stare and unsettling grin, becomes a vessel for our deepest fears. The film's exploration of demonic forces, the way they can latch onto objects and manipulate our world, adds to the chilling atmosphere. We're left to wonder what malevolent entity might be lurking in the shadows, watching our every move. Annabelle reminds us that evil can take many forms, that the most innocuous-looking objects can harbor dark secrets. It's a reminder that we should never underestimate the power of the unknown. The film's true horror lies in the realization that sometimes the things we bring into our homes can be more dangerous than we could ever imagine. Imagine the fear of watching a horror movie only to realize that it's based on real-life events. The blood runs cold, doesn't it? The hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. You want to look away, but you're frozen in place. These films are not just the product of someone's imagination. They're inspired by terrifying real-life occurrences that will send shivers down your spine. The things that go bump in the night, the shadows that seem to move on their own, the whispers you hear when there's no one there. They're all too real. Get ready for a deep dive into the horrors that actually happened and the films that bring them to life. But be warned, you might want to sleep with the lights on tonight.